Let's go over some tips and tricks for the wax resist technique. If your lines are nice and thick like these, they will show up really bright and clear through the watercolor. If you also have medium thick lines, they should still show up pretty clearly. But if your lines are too thin or too light, it's going to be really hard to see. Also, if you use too much paint like I did here, it might cover up your oil pastel and not show the oil pastel lines peeking through the watercolor. Add a little bit more water and it will peek through just like this. If you don't add enough paint, it looks a little bit streaky like this. Here I'm adding too much water. Do you see how it drowns out the oil pastel and covers it up? Then you can't see the wax resist effect. If you don't add enough water, then your brush looks dry and streaky. Sometimes students brush too hard or too much over their oil pastel. If you brush too much, almost like you're scrubbing it back and forth with a sponge, it covers up the oil pastel because it smudges it. You just need a little bit of pressure to brush on your color. If you brush it super light, it can also look streaky, kind of like if you're not using enough water. If you filled in your whole paper with oil pastel, there's nowhere for the water to stick. You need to have a little bit of space in between your lines so that you can see the wax resist effect. If you use these tips and tricks, you should be really successful with your wax resist technique.